Well, I'm absolutely pumped up because next to me I've got our first range of Missing at Sea casting and jigging rods that I think you guys are going to absolutely love. Well, next to me here is the 6 different rods. We've got 3 casting and 3 jigging models. Now the casting consists of a PE10, a PE8 and a PE6, and then the jigging is a PE8 to 10, a PE4 to 6 and a PE2 to 3. Now I reckon those 6 rods are going to have you covered for most of your fishing adventures, but I'll get stuck in and give you some more details on the rods themselves. All our rods are handmade using the latest high quality Toray carbon from Japan. The blanks are extremely light and they're very, very strong. Starting with the big dog, this is our GT weapon, the 8-foot PE10 casting rod. We've also designed these rods with a guide configuration that allows thick leaders to seamlessly pass through all guides. We're using big size 40 stripper guides, and we've continued larger guides through the tips to allow those big 200-pound leaders and those big FG knots to slide through the guides without any friction. Now the PE10 is ideal for heavy popping, specifically for GTs, topwater dogtooth tuna, that kind of thing. This is a very powerful rod and it's ideal for heavy poppers. Then moving on to the PE8 rod, this is probably your all-rounder, ideal for stick baiting, medium popping, GTs, tuna, big kingfish, that kind of thing. This is a great rod, an ideal all-round kind of casting, stick baiting, popping rod for GTs and those big, powerful topwater species. Okay, so moving on to our PE6 rod, again 8 foot in length. They all have the longer butt for casting distance and fighting power. They're all running the same guide configuration. The only difference on the PE6, obviously the blank's a lot thinner. We've got slightly smaller guides towards the tip. You'd match this rod with something like a 6 to 10,000 spin reel. It's actually purpose built for the reef flats along the Great Barrier Reef, but it's also amazing for kind of land-based fishing for tuna, throwing big hard bodies and stuff for mulloway off the rocks. Very versatile rod, smaller kingfish, Spanish mackerel, this kind of thing is going to be ideal. So I guess summing up all 3 casting rods, your PE10, heavy popping for GTs, your PE8, ideal for medium to light poppers and stick baiting for GTs and Spanish, topwater kingies. Then our PE6, ideal for off the rocks, tuna, you know, smaller kingfish, Spanish mackerel, that kind of thing. These 3 rods should have you covered, I reckon, for most casting applications. Moving on to our jigging rods, starting with my favorite rod, the PE2 to 3, 5'3" jigging rod. This thing is so much fun. Now, if you've watched a lot of my videos, more often than not, I'm fishing with the PE2 to 3 rod when I'm jigging. Again, using the top quality Fuji guides, Japanese Toray carbon blanks. These things are super lightweight, extremely powerful. Ideal for micro jigging stuff like snapper, your coral trout, red emperor, those kind of fish. Small kingfish, matches perfectly with like a 5,000 spin reel. Heaps of fun, my personal favorite jigging rod. Don't be scared when our jigging rods arrive. They look thin, but I can guarantee you these things have a lot of stopping power and they're extremely durable. Our PE4 to 6 rod. Now this rod is ideal for jigging fish like kingfish, small dogtooth tuna, matches well with say a 10,000 spin reel. I normally am using this when I'm fishing with 200-300 gram jigs for kingies and the like. Well, again, using the high quality Japanese Toray carbon blanks, the top Fuji guides. Super powerful rod, heaps of fun, extremely lightweight, and will stop a lot of big fish. Let's move on to the big dog, the PE8 to 10. This is the PE8 to 10 jigging rod, and this thing is built for power. I normally match this with roughly a 20,000 spin reel, perfect for dogtooth tuna, big yellowfin, any big critter that you want to get on the jig. It has a max jig weight of 500 grams, so this thing's designed for big fish, heaps and heaps of power behind this blank. Now our whole concept at Missing at Sea is to give you guys access to the absolute highest quality products direct from the factories. These rods would normally retail for almost $1,000. However, you can buy them for half the price because we're an online only company. We don't have the overheads that retailers have, and there's no middleman except the factory and you guys. Now, I'd love to keep talking to you about these rods, but it's an absolute glass off in the background. There's no swell, and I want to put these rods to use. So we're going to go fishing. If you have any questions about our gear, you can always send us a Facebook message, an Instagram message, or an email. And look, I want to say thanks to everyone that supported us so far. It's been absolutely overwhelming, and hopefully we all get to have a fish together one day.